Hello, I'm Scott Bogey here with Teague ahead of his Contender Series fight against Kevin Valesos. How are you doing today?
How about yourself?
I'm doing not too bad. And how was that last fight? We were speaking to you before that last fight against Austin Lingo at Fury, where you were able to get that second round finish with your knees. How did that fight go, in your opinion?
As expected, you saw it. It was a tough war, fan friendly. Everybody loved it. Fight of the night. It's pretty much just a normal fight for me if the other guy is as good as they say.
And was there anything about Lingo's game that was not what you were expecting him to do?
Yeah, he made some adjustments than his fights in UFC. Like he would jump in a lot, but this fight he was step in, so he was catching me early, and I just had to make adjustments as the fight went on and wear him out.
Exactly. And you were able to get it right before the buzzer. How do you feel like that fight was going to last any much longer, even if he did have time to recover?
I don't think he oh, I think he would try to get off the stool, but that cut was so bad at the end of the round, and I was just kneeing him to death. Like, if you saw that thing was
Yeah.
like huge. They rushed him to the back, so I think they probably would have just stopped it in between rounds. But if it kept going, it wouldn't have lasted much longer. I don't think because he's a tough guy. He was sticking in there, but he was out of gas, man. Like the pace I put on people, and if they fight back like he does, and they can't get me out of there, man. One of us is gonna get finished, and that's just how I fight. And he was done, I believe.
Exactly. And you're now on the Contender Series. When did you get that call?
About 4 weeks ago now, but it was like about 2, 3 weeks after my fight. I was just getting back into training, easing back into it, but I had to ramp everything up real quick again because it's a quick turnaround,
Yeah.
and these opportunities don't come very often. So I took it, and I'm ready to go again.
Now, did they call you saying that you're on a short list for a potential call up, and then they gave you the call up, or did they just say, "Luke Riley's dropped out. Do you want to step in?"
They didn't tell me anything after my fight. My manager said that, they're pitching me, stay ready. You might get a call, somebody might get hurt. And what I was told is, this season's full, and they might have to wait till next year for the Contender Series or a short notice UFC fight if somebody pulls out. So they just said to stay ready to keep fighting. But I guess Luke Riley's visa issues caused him out, and they called me. So they called the right guy because I'm going to show up and I'm going to fight.
Exactly. You definitely put on a show. Like, so from what you're saying, they said stay ready. Maybe I'll come next year. Would you have taken another fight after Lingo, or were you just gonna wait to see if you got that Contender Series call up?
I was going to wait about 2 months and see like if I could have got in like a short notice
Yeah.
UFC fight. But I was looking at a November return if I had to.
And was there any talk about a potential opponent for that November return, or was that just too soon?
Just a couple names and stuff of potential matchups, nothing solid. So I don't even remember them now. I'm on to the Contender Series for me. So
Exactly. You're now looking for names in that UFC.
right, I'm looking at Kevin. That's who I'm trying to fight right now.
And what do you think Kevin brings to this fight?
I think he's kind of similar to the guy I just fought. He's a heavy puncher. He likes to stand and bang. He's gonna come out hard, and he kind of fades a little bit too. So I'm honestly expecting kind of the same fight here. It's gonna be rough, but that's the kind of fights I love to be in, and the fans love it too, and most importantly, Dana loves it. So I think it's the type of fight that if it goes the distance, we both could get a contract because the way I fight, you're gonna have to throw down if you're gonna win that fight. So I think I can maybe get him out of there later, but I'm just gonna put it on him till he quits or till somebody steps in and stops it.
And how does it make you feel knowing that? I don't know if you've been watching the Contender Series so far, but a lot of people are going on there, getting the finish, and they're definitely getting the contract. I know there was one just last night that didn't, but it looks like Dana has been getting a lot of contracts out. How does that make you feel heading into your fight?
Even if he wasn't giving out a lot of contracts, I'm confident in myself and my fan friendly style that I'm going to get in if I get that finish or even if I get that win because it's going to be a crazy fight. I already know it. I'm not like these other fighters where they're like, oh, I'm gonna go out there and knock this guy out real quick. I'm not a delusional guy. Kevin's tough and he's pretty much the same caliber opponent I just fought, and that was a war. So I'm expecting a war. I'm going to step in and I'm going to do what I have to do. And afterwards, Dana's probably going to reward me. If not, I don't know what to do from there. We'll figure it out. But definitely, hopefully I move my head a little more this time and not get
Yeah.
hit as much. But I'm ready for whatever.
And do you feel like being able to get the finish over Kevin is a lot more impressive? Because obviously there might be some nerves coming into you going into this contender series, whereas Kevin, he has been here before. He knows what is expected from him. Do you feel like being able to beat a caliber of that type of fighter just makes that an even bigger victory?
Definitely, because they look at him as like one of the top prospects this season. They talk highly of him because he went the distance with Gene Silva. But I said it in my other interviews too. I'm not Gene Silva. I'm Cam Teague. It's going to be a different fight, and I feel like I can compete with those guys. And I kind of just did. I just beat a guy that's had a couple wins in the UFC, and
Yeah.
you know, Kevin. He's knocked out a lot of guys, but they're regional guys for a reason. So. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna fight him just like it's a regular fight, just like I did last fight, and the rest will take care of itself.
Exactly. And how much would this you getting the contract mean not only to you but for your gym? Obviously, you do have Kurt and you have Cedric Dumas already in the UFC. How does it feel like? How big will it be to have another fighter from your gym going into that UFC?
I mean everything to me. Growing up, I was used to watch fights with my grandfather, my dad, my uncle, and stuff, and to have UFC next to my name, like legends like Chuck Liddell and Robbie Lawler have, just to be like, yeah, I was there too, in the same spot that they were in, it would mean the world to me, and I have the opportunity to do it here in 2 weeks, and I'm going to give it everything I have.
And what changes from these short notice call ups? Like from a normal training camp, you'd have quite a few weeks to prepare. What changes do you have to make from a normal training camp to this one?
Well, I'm always in camp, so it's not a big deal to me. Most fights on the regional scene, I only know who I'm going to fight in 2 weeks, and this time I had about 3, 4 weeks to get ready, so nothing new to me. I'm always training, I'm always in shape, like just a little bit more running, more road work crunched in, and yeah.
And how is the contender series works? Do you still have that contract with Fury still running? And then obviously if you get the contract in the UFC, that just overtakes the Fury one? Or once the contender series is over, do you have to try and you go back to Fury and just renegotiate?
I'm not sure about that. That'll be up to my management. Like, I think if I get the contract, it is what it is. I'm in the
Yeah.
UFC, but if not, I probably do return to Fury because they treated me right. They gave me a big platform, and honestly, if I go back to Fury, pick up another win or two, I'll be right back. I think, and but I'm really expecting to just get this contract right here, and that's the goal, and I'm going to make it happen.
Exactly. And what has been the biggest changes from the UFC to Fury? Like what's the big changes?
They're flying me out a little earlier, so I'll have to get back with you after that because they fly me out the 17th, and it's pretty much just been the same. There's a lot more paperwork for the UFC. They require a lot more. Like I just had to get a brain scan and stuff. I had to do some like medical tests I've never done before, but they're a big show, big organization. They can afford stuff like this to make you do tests like that. So it's just a little more paperwork and stuff, but ultimately it's the same.
And how are you going to celebrate once you do get that victory and you are in that UFC?
I'm gonna go get a pizza, that's for sure. I'm not much of a partier, I just like to go eat after I win or after I fight. And last time was kind of hard because I was in the war and my jaw kind of hurt, so I couldn't really eat after the fight. But hopefully this time I get in there, I get in a firefight and, I move my head a little bit more and, it's a better outcome. Like last fight was a great outcome, but I don't want to take damage every fight like that. But I'm prepared to, I love being in the fight of the nights and, there's only 5 fights, but I guarantee it, our fight's probably going to be the best one. So I'm coming.
And hopefully you would be able to get that pizza afterwards. And what was your family's reaction? Because obviously, like you were saying, you watched the UFC with your grandpa, your dad. What was their reaction when you found to be able to tell them I'm on the Contender series?
Well, I just have my dad and my uncle now. Our grandfather passed away a long time ago, but they're just happy. They're real supportive, and my dad's gonna be there. I only have like 4 tickets or something, but he's gonna be one of the people in the building. So sure, you'll hear him yelling on the broadcast and whatever he yells, and they're just excited. Every time I get a big fight like this, like last fight, I feel everybody's more excited than me. Because they just believe in me and the work. They know the work I put in, and to me, it's just another day. So I'm just a bigger platform and bigger opportunity.
Exactly. And even in your last fight, you were against the hometown favourite in Austin Lingo, but you still brought your crowd. They were still making noise. You could still hear them. How does that make you feel knowing that even though you are going into these hometown favourites, you are still able to bring that support?
It's just awesome. The gym support, the family and friends I have. Some people drove 10 hours just to watch me fight. And it was big having them there. They kicked us all out afterwards because obviously they probably wanted Lingo to win, and it was the Gillies. That place is open till like 2 a.m. But man, after my fight, after I won, they shut that down and made everybody stand outside. So when I came out the back from the doctors and whatever, after I got medically checked and cleared, I walked out. I had to walk outside. They were all there waiting for me. So I love them to death, and that's why I'm never going to quit in that cage. You're going to have to put me out.
And do you have anyone in the UFC that you're wanting to face, or are you just fully focused on Kevin and then you'll do the call out after?
Right now, the only person in the world I want to fight is Kevin in 2 weeks. So I'll figure it out after that. I'm sure. I'm sure I'll get a list of people once I get in that I'll call out and want to fight. But till then, I just gotta focus on Kevin.
Well, that sounds great. And I know you're going to do absolutely great and get that victory. And like we said last time, we'd be speaking ahead of your next UFC fight. We're here, the contenders. Next time, it will be in that UFC.
Yes, sir. That's what
Now,
I'm hoping for.
like last time, I'll let you have the final word. Anyone you're wanting to shout out or anything else you're wanting to say?
Shout out to my gym. Tune in September 24th, Dana White Contender Series. I think I'm the second fight of the night, and it's gonna be the best fight. I can guarantee that.
Exactly. It's definitely going to bring fireworks. You cannot miss it.